Welcome. I am Ms. Ricky Camacho, Registrar of the Antigua and Barbuda Intellectual Property and Commerce Office, known as a BIPCO. Today I'm delighted to have here with us Ms. Joanne Bird of Divine Creations.
Hello.
Would you mind telling us a little bit about who you are and your background and about Divine Creations?
Well, as you said, I am Joanne Bird, the hands behind Divine Creations Antigua. And believe it or not, my background is in banking. I was in banking for 26 years. But I've also always had a very creative side. I'm always interested in seeing how things are made and working on things with my hands. So this was kind of, I guess, almost a natural transition for me.
And what inspired you to, pursue the path of making these beautiful products that we see here?
It actually started with my daughter, my younger daughter, who became, she changed her lifestyle and she became Rastafari and was living a more natural and more vegan lifestyle. And as a result of that, she wanted us to be able to produce things that were more natural, for use on the body and for use in general. And it started off with her just saying, "Mommy, I want to make soap." So I said, okay, no problem at all. So we started making soaps. And I guess my entrepreneurial spirit took over and I just went full steam ahead.
Would you like to share with us about your line of products and also about the logo?
Well, I'll start with the logo. That too was inspired by my daughter. And her idea for Divine Creations, which was not Divine Creations when we thought about it, it was actually her thought about wanting to create something for the divine feminine. So when I started looking for inspiration on the logo, I figured that the image of a body, a female body, would have been ideal. So she and I sat and sorted it out and worked it out until we came up with exactly what we thought would have adequately represented Divine Creations. It's kind of morphed a little over the years. It's been adjusted slightly, but the base of the feminine figure, the feminine form, is still present.
And about the products that you sell?
The products started off with just soaps. And then that kind of branched off into other body products, body washes and body creams, and then it went into the facial care products. And then it got into the home scents, the candles, the candle warmers, the room sprays. So it's kind of morphed over the years.
So it just keeps growing and growing?
It keeps growing and growing and growing, yes. New things are coming soon as well.
And why do you think that this keeps growing and growing?
Truthfully, because I'm a little haunted and always working on something new. And also, as time progresses, you see things and you feel there are things that people need and people want or people ask about. Sometimes persons will come and say, do you make something for dark spots? So then I will get cracking and start looking and researching something for dark spots. And then that just morphs into a whole other line right there. So it will continue growing.
What does it mean to you to be a female creator?
First of all, it gives me the opportunity to be able to explore all aspects of my creative side. In addition to that, I think it's also putting me in a position to be a role model for my daughters, because I have two, not just my younger one, I have two daughters. Puts me in a position to be a role model for them and realizing that, listen, as a female, you can do pretty much whatever you set your mind to. So for me, that's extremely important and very empowering as well. Professionally,
what is your goal for this line that you've created that continues to grow and be successful?
To continue to grow and be successful. I want it to keep growing. I want to be able to export it. I want it to become almost like a household name.
Would you mind sharing about, I know you've recently opened up somewhere new. Perhaps you'd want to share that with our viewing and listening public.
Yes, currently I now operate from the Pink Mango Studio on Upper Fries Hill Road, which is a location where I'm able to adequately display and put out all of the products that I'm working on, even the new ones. And I'm encouraged and inspired by Debbie, who's there as well, to come on, keep growing, keep bringing it all out. So yeah.
Do you have a favorite product out of your line?
Oh wow. The thing is, I have a favorite product every week.
Do you have a favorite product this week?
This week, I think my favorite product would be this candle. I think that's my favorite one. I love the scent on it. I love the packaging for it. And this is actually the last one. The others have sold out, and I'm kind of thinking of keeping that one for myself.
And what is the scent of this candle?
It's rose petals.
It's rose petal.
Yes.
I imagine it's quite relaxing as well.
Extremely.
When you began your brand, did you have any knowledge of business or intellectual property? I mean, you've told us that you were a banker before.
So the knowledge would have pretty much been limited to the banking side of it. Intellectual property, no, I did not have. I had basically no knowledge whatsoever. I did know, however, that I needed to make sure my business was registered. That was the first thing I did know. Thankfully, Ricky, I keep getting advice from you as to what I need to get done, thankfully. So I'm still learning, but I do believe that it is of the utmost importance. And as a result, I intend to, to try and make sure that I have all of my I's dotted and T's crossed to make sure everything is in place.
And for the business aspect, what advice would you give to young people or to those at any stage of life, wanting to start a new venture?
To anyone willing to start, it's not for the faint of heart, first and foremost. And there's a meme that I see all the time that said, I didn't want to work a 9 to 5, so I started my own business, and now I work 24 hours. That's exactly what happens. You actually do work 24 hours, right? And even when I am, let's say, not working, the brain is still working and trying to think of something else that, something else that would inspire, something else that's going to be a hit, something else that my customers would like.
And is there a particular resource or resources that perhaps you wish were available to you in terms of helping you grow your business?
My biggest challenge has to do with the shipping aspect, because a lot of my supplies I cannot get locally, right? As much as I try to keep as many things, homegrown as possible, it's just not practical in most cases. Containers, raw materials, a lot of them I can't get. And it's very challenging to try and get things in, and then of course, you've got to deal with customs and sometimes how long it takes to get things cleared. And right, so I find myself, I seem to always be working under the gun. I seem to always be like, or having to send out a message, I'm really sorry that I have to, I won't be able to restock until next week or the week after due to shipping delays, but it's part of it. It's definitely part of it.
And I thank you for sharing, that's a really honest challenge that I imagine many of our entrepreneurs in the country do have. But can you tell us how we can keep up with Divine Creations and what we can expect? Well,
our social media handles are always active at Divine Create on Instagram and Divine Creations Antigua on Facebook. I've disabled the Divine Creations website, and not permanently. It's going back up. The thing is that because I keep making so many things so often, it's become a little difficult to update and to put everything on. And by the time I put stuff up, those would have either sold out or there's something new replacing that. So it's been a challenge keeping up. So that is going back up shortly, as well as my All Mart presence, that's going back up as well. So there all of those ways to get in touch with Divine Creations. And of course, there's always a good old-fashioned visit. I love to have people come and visit us up at the Pink Mongoose. So definitely, I prefer that more than anything else.
Well, thank you so much for coming today to discuss with us about Divine Creations. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.